This very late instalment of Emily's Adventures in Horrorland is proudly brought to you by seasonal allergies. Hey, howdy hey, and welcome back to Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. And if you're new here, just welcome. Glad to have you. Now then, seeing as I recently covered a 2014 film, I thought I'd skip way back in time to 1974 and do another horror icon. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Due to my yearly tradition of watching horror movie countdowns each Halloween, I have spoiled several iconic scenes for myself. Still, if the countdown slot has sufficiently moved me, then I'll go away and watch the film and see everything in its proper context. Eventually. And it's true that Leatherface has something about him that makes your heart just drop straight down into your bowels. Boy, wouldn't that have been a different film. Well, anyway, let's get on with it.
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths. In particular, Sally Hardesty.
Ooh, well, this opening has me hooked already. That said, it is a slight cheat in the narrative, and I'll go into that later. Whoa, what was that? What was... Ew! This guy looks like he's made after sweet and sour chicken balls. And now I want sweet and sour chicken balls. God damn it. And we get this radio broadcast thing, which is a little hard to pick up on. I tried watching with subtitles and... Nope, still no idea what he said, but I guess that's the point. Then we get to meet our protagonists. Oh boy. Last time I saw a bunch of people in a camper van in a horror movie, very bad things happened. In fact, very similar things happened. Alright, does this need that many camera angles? So after the group visit this girl Sally's grandfather's grave, they decide to visit the house where she and her brother Franklin grew up. They pass a slaughterhouse and talk about that for a bit before they spot a hitchhiker and decide to pick him up.
I think we just picked up Dracula.
Yeah, might not be a good idea to call him a Dracula to his face. You know, we all want to get along and live. He talks to them about slaughtering cattle, favouring the old-fashioned approach, and even has pictures.
They don't send the hedge away.
Anybody else quite hungry all of a sudden? He takes their photo and invites them back to his family's place for some head cheese and, oh, honestly, does so much fucked up stuff I'm surprised they wait until he cuts Franklin's arm to boot him out of the van. The group stop at a gas station which is out of gas, but does have a guy to tell them not to go poking around in strange empty houses. And for fairly sensible reasons.
You don't want to go fooling around other folks' property. Some folks don't like it, and they don't mind showing you.
Yep.
You think that guy's just trying to scare us by, blowing up my picture like that?
Yes, I diddly do. And by slicing himself, and yourself, and kicking this out of your van, and offering to take... Wait, what do you mean, your picture? It wasn't yours. You didn't give him the $2, and take that sausage out of your mouth, for God's sake. Where did you even get a sausage? Franklin's friends head off to the outdoor pool to, not partake in shenanigans. Oh, never mind, not a chainsaw, just a generator. Does that count as foreshadowing? Kirk discovers that the front door of the house is open and goes to investigate, and we get our first glimpse of Leatherface. And I have to admit, he is pretty terrifying. It's interesting that he just shows up with no warning whatsoever. I mean, normally you'd get a bit of music at least to tell you that the character is doomed. Actually, as slasher movies go, this one is pretty atypical. The music is simplistic and only used when needed, there's relatively little gore shown, and 3 out of the 5 teenagers aren't so much hunted down as they are trotting right into the slaughterhouse. I'm serious, they just walk right into the house! Alright, the second 2 were in there looking for their friends, but with Jerry it just seemed to be good old-fashioned curiosity. And look where that got him. And you know what else makes it bloody unlikely that anyone would willingly walk into that place? The little fact that it reeks of death. There are carcasses everywhere, and not to mention it's 100 degrees in the shade outside. Can you imagine? All the Febreze in the world wouldn't get rid of that stench. In fact, after I learned of the trouble that Michael Berryman went to for his part in The Hills Have Eyes, I wanted to know what happened to the actors in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it would appear that they suffered dearly for their art. The cast and crew did indeed have to work in the baking desert heat, wearing the same clothes for days on end and trying not to vomit from the smell of rotting carrion. As well, some of the bloodshed happened to be real. Sally's actor's finger was cut in one scene, and she later injured herself when jumping through a window in another. So just to recap, literal blood, sweat and tears went into the making of this movie, and that's pretty darn impressive. Where was I? Sally and Franklin are about to go looking for the other three when Leatherface finally breaks out the chainsaw. Sally runs away with Leatherface in hot pursuit, and the subtitles turn out to be slightly amusing. Now then, about Leatherface. This character is the undisputed king of the backwoods horror subgenre, and it's not difficult to see why. He's inelegant, inarticulate, and inconsiderate, putting it mildly. Just the last person you'd want to meet in the middle of nowhere. When I said in my The Hills Have Eyes review that I expected the cannibal family to be more removed from civilized society, this is the kind of thing I was thinking of. Though, realistically, the chainsaw might not be the best way to carve someone up. Unless you want a big pile of shredded pork. Oh, shredded pork. Why do I always record these things when I'm hungry? So Sally runs through the House of Death, first of all, then makes it to that gas station. The owner promises to help her by driving to the... Oh, I know that's probably a person, but god damn, that looks good. One moment. Okay, let's go again. The guy hits her with a broom, which is different, and quickly ties her up. I like that she only remained knocked out for half a minute, which is more true to life. Generally speaking, if you're knocked unconscious for more than, say, half an hour due to head trauma, as is so often the case in horror movies, that's brain damage. The man drives her back to the house, poking her as he does so. We learn that Creepy McDracula is the brother of Leatherface, and actually calls him that in the film.
Hey, Leatherface! Give me a hand with Vampire!
Wasn't expecting that. I thought that Leatherface might have been a fan-given name, like Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. Oh, Clive Barker did not like that. Who did he not like that? I'll be interested to know who's your favourite member of the cannibal family and why, as they do come in different flavours. Personally, as much as I liked Leatherface, the one that scared me the most was dear old Grandpa. Man, that is one creepy corpse. I would not want to be sat next to that. Oh, Jesus, it's alive, it's alive! There's just this unsettling aura that he gives off. Maybe it's the fact that he's respected and revered by the rest of the family as the ultimate killer, despite being unable to so much as pick up a fork.
It won't hurt none. My old grandpa's the best killer there ever was.
Yeah, not true. Just then, Sally manages to break free and escape and get the hitchhiker killed thanks to a truck ex machina. And as she hops into the passenger seat, we see that Leatherface's chainsaw can't penetrate the metal door. Yes! Sanctuary! Drive, drive, drive! What are you doing? Why are you getting out? You have the truck! The keys are in the ignition! Where are you going? What are you doing? Good lord, if this guy was the movie's protagonist, then we would have a much shorter movie. Oh well, Sally catches another ride, leaving Leatherface to do the chainsaw dance. And that's it! Sally escapes, in spite of that opening bit of narration that implied that all 5 teens were killed to death. In fact, isn't the title Texas Chainsaw Massacre a bit misleading? Most of them were killed with a hammer, not a chainsaw, and... can 4 people really be considered a massacre? But still, I can see why this film and this character became iconic. The film has a great visual style, with the House of Death's corpse motif and the enjoyably insane antagonists. And aside from a few stupid decisions on the part of the teens and that one truck driver, it's hard to take umbrage with any other aspects of the movie. For that reason, I give this film 8 jam sandwiches out of 10. Feel free to let me know what you thought of this film, and if you liked the review, then why not subscribe and share this with a friend, because we horror hounds are a disparate bunch. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio. Ugh, I should not have put that ham on my face. Well, I'm an idiot.